seconds.
No, that was a lot shorter than 10
That was
seconds.
10
I wasn't
seconds.
ready. I wasn't ready
That
at
was
all.
10 seconds.
We're never ready. Like, what the hell? Are you even?
That was 10
trying to
seconds.
say what the... Okay.
I'll
Okay.
believe you.
100% 10 seconds.
Listen. Are we arguing?
Yes.
We're agreeing with you, dumbass.
We're arguing.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the HarHar Podcast. I'm your host, Dev. Today I'm joined by Jay and Stephen.
Hi.
How we doing?
That
Fuck,
reminded me-
okay, dead air?
That, it's like we literally, again, your concept of time is like bad because it was like 2 seconds and I was literally about to say something, so like calm your tits. I was literally about to say a little agreement argument at the beginning of that just reminded me of like that.
There is a timer.
What?
The song has a timer. That was 10 seconds.
You were whatever. Okay, fine. That
This is why I
sound is, of
drink.
course, piped it. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you drink because you want to.
That too.
Yeah, just like you deal with our bullshit because you want to, because the majority of harm that a person inflicts on themselves is self-harm.
Self-inflicted. Yeah.
Self-inflicted harm is like most harm a person will go through.
You're so clever.
I wasn't trying to be clever, bitch.
It reminded me, our little bit at the beginning reminded me of a little scene in MASH where Hawkeye and BJ are arguing. I was like, we gotta think of something because you're my best friend, moron. That goes double for me, stupid.
That would probably be a real conversation between me and Dev.
Yeah, it's probably already happened. What the fuck? How did what? Did something just fall on my foot? How? When?
Huh?
Where? The drink is
I don't
over
know,
here.
moron.
Fuck off, bitch.
Damn. We went rated R.
You are aggressive today, yeah. Like
I just got off a really annoying shift at work, okay?
tell us all.
Let me tweet my retweet real quick, and you guys do your week first, and then we'll get to my week, because then I'm gonna rant. All right, Steven, you're up.
Mhm. Sure, I'll start because I have not had an eventful week at all. It's just been a weekend, was working at JCPenney, taking pictures there. These last 2 days, I've had days off because with the school studio, my boss has telling us lies, being like, yeah, we're busy. We're super busy. And then it's like, yeah, you have 3 out of the next 5 days off. Hey, next week, you don't have any work with us. But don't worry, we're super busy. So, like, that's all I've been dealing with here. Yesterday was full of stress because it was my dad's birthday and I did a lot of cooking. But
You
that
did.
was,
I saw the tweet. I was very impressed at that, by the way.
yeah, I was impressed with myself. The time management was perfect.
Nice,
Like,
dude.
Yeah.
That's the trick, is when you're cooking a nice meal and everything's done at the same time and it's ready and it's
Mhm.
perfect. Like that is the goal. That is what
It's
you're
very
shooting for.
nice. It happened. I was like, all of my stuff got done at the same time, and I was like, man, I probably should have put the salad out first.
I tweeted earlier. I made a steaks earlier today, marinated. And, here's the thing, man. Like, it's again, like all of my cooking has kind of happened all at once this year. It's like I went from I don't cook to I literally cook so that me and my wife stay alive.
Well, see, the thing is, like, it's tough to cook for just one person.
She's looking right at me. She's not denying it.
Who cooks nowadays? Nobody. That's
I would be cooking more if it was more, because it's not always. I mean, it's more financially smart to, but at the same time, it's still hard to if you live alone.
Oh no, like the motivation to cook when I lived alone was like crippling low.
Mhm.
Crippling low. Like I very rarely did it. Careful. Very rarely did it. But yeah, I got tricked into doing it since we are living together. The real funny part is I enjoy it, so like, all right. It's way less depressing when you don't have to just do it for yourself. It's way less depressing.
Yeah, I remember, like, I know when I cook for myself, like just by myself, I literally do like, I'll grab a frozen piece of chicken out of the freezer, I'll throw on some salt and pepper, I'll maybe throw a potato next to it and throw it in the oven. It's like, yep. And I'll do that like 3 days a week. Be like, yeah, yep, totally not depressed.
My favorite approach. So like dishes that I want to do stuff like that for, rather than eat it the same way, like 3 different dishes, is just to cook one big thing and eat on it for a while. She's not a big leftovers fan. Like, she'll eat it, but she's not a big leftovers fan, which kind of blows my strategy out the window sometimes.
I mean, you guys have
but
seen how I prep too. Like, I do like 5 days of food sometimes.
yeah, and I would honestly, depending on the dish, I would do that, but I wouldn't have that dish again for like a month. Like, if I did that, because I know myself, and it's like I get burnt out from the same things. Like, some things I get burnt out from very quickly. Some days I don't think I ever stop having cravings for. Like, prime example, like, since I have learned how to make a pretty decent homemade chicken fried rice, I like want it every day. I want it every day. But so, kind of steer us off of cooking. Stephen had an uneventful week. I want to tell you about my week, which has been somewhat eventful. So I was trying to leave work yesterday. Successfully left work. I was around 2:45 my time. Got on the main road to start heading back home, and I haven't been on the road for 10 minutes, and I noticed my car, they're driving, noticed my car starting to do this little thing, just kind of start swaying, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I start hearing a dragging sound, and I'm like, son of a bitch, I know what this sound is. And right before I start really feeling the drag, I was already pulling over off the shoulder. Go out, look, sure enough, there it is. My left back tire flat to the rim.
See, you should have just like avoided whatever you ran over.
Exactly. Did you run over a nail? Did you?
I don't have a clue, dude. I honestly don't know. All I know is I don't think this is what caused. I don't think a foreign object caused it, but the guy who showed up to finally tow me was like, yeah, my plan was to kind of air up your tire and so I could tow it effectively. Because, okay, so the thing is I am going to shit talk a little bit, is my family has AAA. And, roadside assistance, all that jazz. And for the most part, the idea on paper is like very nice and hassle-free. And for the most part, as far as my customer service experience went, it was great. The actual execution of getting my car off the damn road, another thing entirely. So I call roadside assistance. Person picks up. Thank you for calling AAA, yada, yada, yada. I give information and all this other stuff. I give very detailed and accurate information as far as where exactly I am, because I am within sight of the on-ramp. Like, if I got out of the car, grabbed a rock, I could hit the ramp. Like, that's how close I was. Like, not even a hard throw, just and I could have hit it. And this person is telling me that their GPS can't reconcile that. It keeps trying to like autofix me to like an address that's kind of close to it. And it's a road that's off of the other road that I just got off of. And I'm like, that's close, but no, you need to get someone local and just tell them I'm on such road at such ramp. Literally, you can see me. I'm not hard to find. So they eventually get a truck out to me. First guy shows up. First guy.
I was going to say, he said first guy. This is great.
Basically, shows up, normal tow truck with the car dolly and stuff, right? Front of the car goes up, back of the car is rolling. What's the problem with that? I have a flat back tire with no spare. Number one, as a side note, if I had the spare, this particular road that I was trapped along the side of, like, no, fuck that. Especially trying to change it on my driver's side of this road. No, because people here are assholes. I could 1 in maybe 10 cars who had the choice to go over to the other lane and not be dicks took it. 1 of 10. And that's a conservative estimate. A lenient estimate. But yeah, 1 of 10.
I was going to make a political joke, but I won't.
Good, wise choice.
Please, no. So the guy's like, dude, I don't know what the heck. Yeah. I don't know what the hell they're doing. But yeah, you're going to need a rollback. So like, we'll, the other driver is going to be here soon. We're not busy today. It should be fine. And again, I'm still pretty chill. So I was like, yeah, man, this is all right, cool. At this point, my wife has showed up to save me. So we're sitting in her car. We have heat. It's, it's fine. We're just kind of sitting here, kind of subconsciously scooting to this side of the car to get even further away from the road. It's like, but second guy shows up, same type of truck as the first guy. And he called me. So this guy calls me and he's on his way. He's like, okay, dude, where the heck are you? And so I describe him. I'm like, yeah, that's not where they said you were. I'm like, I know. They're trying to get me on this road or whatever. It's like, yeah, man, blah, 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 blah. So he gets here and I see him and I'm like, brother, I don't know what they told you. And then the guy kind of stopped me and was like, no, I'm the guy you talked to on the phone. I'm like, oh. It's like, yeah, we're going to make this work. It'll be fine. So this guy, who I guess is pretty damn good at his job, had this block. And so he jacked up the front of the car, got the good tire off, put the car on the block, jacked up the back, took the back tire off, put the good tire on the back, then put the bad tire on the front. That way it would sit and now it could roll.
Damn.
On the normal truck. Yeah, and I'm just like...
Did you do it in like 90 seconds? Could you have been in a nice NASCAR pit
Tell
crew?
you what, it wasn't, well, here's the thing. It's all on his own. It wasn't necessarily like pit crew fast, but he worked confidently and he just head down. He knew what he had to do and he just freaking did it. So I'm like, this man is getting a tip. I don't care what's in my wallet. This man is going to get at least some of it. And so he finally gets us to a tire discounters, and I looked in my wallet. All I got's the 20, and I was like, I'm a man of my fucking word. I was like, there you go, dude. Appreciate the heck out of you. So then we get to tire discounters at around, so let's see, left at 2:45. This is probably about just shy of 5, I think, by the time we get to tire discounters, or maybe about 4:30 actually. Tow truck pulls my car in their parking lot. So either way, I'm committed. Lady walks out. It's like, hi, how you doing? It's like, I'm doing good. Heck of a time to ask this now, but do you have availability? She starts laughing. She's like, yeah, we're good. It'll probably be closer to closing though, like at around 6. And I'm like, sure, that's fine. You guys just gonna wait it out? Yep. Because it's like not conveniently close to the apartment. And so I'm not having my wife drive me all the way over here early in the morning to get the car. I'm not doing it. She wouldn't do it either, I don't think. So we went, got McDonald's, ate, regretted McDonald's later, because that's the other thing. That's the other regret about actually working out and kind of being a little bit more healthy, is grease has dire consequences now. So yeah, all in all, it was about close to 7 o'clock. I left work at 2:45, close to 7 o'clock, just after 7, I think, by the time I actually got home. It was a long day.
But hey, that's the perfect time for you to catch the Critically Casual Podcast on Mondays at 6 p.m.
I did catch your all's tail. Well, so here's the thing. As much as I wanted to watch your all's show from the very beginning,
movies ever,
I unfortunately was pulling a Stevin and hadn't finished. I at least had started on mine, but had to finish up my Photoshop battle. This Christmas cluster of a Christmas card that I made. So
we'll get to those.
Yeah, we'll get
Eventually.
to them. I just seen your face with that, so I was like, I don't know. I was relatively confident going into the last one. I'll be honest with you. I'm not confident at all going into this one. I'm proud of my effort. I'm proud that I took these random ass photos that I was given and made something out of it. But I have zero confidence. So I might jump up and do a lap in the house if you tell me that I won. I'm not even lying.
You need to tell him he won just so we can see that, please.
I will.
Jay, you won.
Yeah.
We'll get to that though.
But so did that, caught the tail end of your show. You and me talked for a little bit, Dev, and then I left and I went to bed.
Yep. I played Minecraft after you left.
Found
out our villager disappeared.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I looked it up. I think I figured it out, and it was because he didn't have access to a bed.
So your so what you're telling me is your strategy doesn't work.
It does if I put a bed in there with him.
Listen, I finished the deli's apartment. Just let him stay there.
Next time.
So in other words, when you inhumanely imprison something in Minecraft, it just says, fuck this, I'm out.
I guess, like, I couldn't figure it out. Looking at it on, because people they do and they don't understand Minecraft villagers. But apparently, to trap a villager where you want it, it has to have access to a workstation and it has to have access to a bed. Apparently, it doesn't have to be named, but in both instances, like mine when it was named and Dev when it wasn't named, they both disappeared anyways.
But they didn't have access to those things, is the thing. I had mine trapped inside my horse pen. You had yours trapped in a 1x1.
Mm-hmm. But he still had access to his work area, and he was there for a few days. That's the weird thing. Is he was there for a few days.
It was probably because we were in the area consistently when we played. We were in where he would be in our radius. I left to the Guardian farm, which would have been out of the radius of spawn.
Well, but even then, like, there have been times when I logged out and then logged back in, and he's still there.
Well, that's because things don't despawn and time hasn't moved since last time you were on. Unless someone else has gone on, which would be me, and most likely I'm at the base. So he's not going to despawn.
I mean, I don't understand it. Either way, my next approach is just being even more inhumane and just hiding it better.
No. Why? We're not doing this. Because guess what? If I had just freed him like my instinct said, he'd probably still be alive.
Maybe?
Because you want to know what he'd probably be... You know what he'd probably have done? He would have slept in the top of the community center and just come down to his work center.
See, my next plan was to go in there and actually make it so he could go up to the top of the community center. But I didn't do it right away. And then you logged in, and then he disappeared.
You cannot turn this into my fault. Fuck you. That is bullshit. You put him in a 1x1. We had beds. We have work centers. He could have lived perfectly fine.
Oh my God.
He lived perfectly fine.
He didn't because he disappeared.
Yeah, he did exactly what all millennials do. They work themselves to death.
Wow. I need this real shit out of this podcast now, please. Oh, man.
You can't blame this on me when you're the reason why he dispawned.
No,
I'm not blaming this on you.
You can't do this to me.
That segue was just too good.
You can't do this. This is 100% your fault. Final. I was right. I was 100% right. If I had just done what I wanted to do, we'd still have fucking mending. I was like, you know what? I will finish the deli. We will compromise. I will finish the deli, and then I'll release him. fucking go to finish the deli,
You
he
know-
despawns.
Hey, so since we're basically doing this whole rant and it's kind of about a video game, can we talk about a different video game real quick?
Oh, I guess. Dev won't be as passionate about it probably, but
He might be annoyed because I brought this game up multiple times.
What game?
is it Cyberpunk?
Yeah, Cyberpunk.
And how it causes epilepsy.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, so like there's like a lot of stuff that's like apparently come out. So there's like number one, there's GameSpot, and I think both GameSpot and Game Informer, or maybe IGN, I don't know, somewhere in there. IGN's probably done a similar thing, but they both basically said the same thing. Is like Cyberpunk's value is basically undercut by an empty open world devoid of purpose, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what happened? And I'm avoiding reading these reviews because I don't want to get spoiled or anything. Like, I am waiting intentionally after the first day because of bugs and things, which also apparently plague the game right now. And then I see this whole epilepsy thing, and I'm like, huh? Like, usually I think every video game made today has that warning.
But it doesn't.
It's been a long, I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't think
I
I've
don't
ever
know.
seen
Well, I don't know if it says it does, but you want to know what it does? Why? What epilepsy
Yeah, what's going on? 'Cause
causing?
I like seen it, but I didn't like. What's it doing?
So essentially, what it does is it essentially, whether or not they did this purposely or it's just a fucking freak coincidence, there's a scene where you apparently put on this headset thing, which
Oh yeah.
the thing it does is the exact same thing that people, when they are trying to force a seizure on someone, because they're trying to run tests and stuff like that on someone, why their seizure and stuff like that are
Oh
caused.
shit.
It does the exact thing.
That opens a really nasty door.
Because if it's on accident, what a freak coincidence. If it's on
Okay,
purpose,
I can't
what
imagine.
the fuck?
I honestly. So, and this is, I don't know. I feel either way, this is going to be a real unpleasant door. That game developers would have to deal with. Now, on the one hand, it's like, hey, it's by accident, but it would prompt and demand more caution into high sensory type scenes like that.
100%. It should
On
already
the other
be.
hand, if it's proven that they were like, yeah, we sampled these patterns from this, which I just can't. Like, honestly, even in today's, like, as how scummy of people can be with pay to win and like all this other stuff, I cannot imagine, because that's more of the business model, right? So, but like from the creative process, I cannot imagine that people who are making this game is like, yeah, this is a great idea to sample from this, when it's basically almost required by law to basically put the warning that say, hey, sometimes these things cause seizures and stuff, and if you experience symptoms, you should stop playing and consult your doctor.
Well, the thing is, like, Game Informer had to put out a thing of how to avoid this happening. Like, the fact that Game Informer is going to be more informative on how to avoid a seizure in a game than the game itself is a problem.
Oh yeah, no, that's huge. That's not, and that again, man, that's just like, of the things that CD Projekt Red could have prepped for, like, which to me just leads to, this is a freak accident that like a big chink in the armor kind of situation where they were caught very much unprepared.
They're also under a lot of scrutiny too from like LGBT as well communities, because
now what?
Well, you remember how they originally were like, oh yeah, no, we're totally opening the door for NBs and, anyone who's kind of in that in-between area.
Yeah.
They really didn't.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Which is why, honestly, man, if you just didn't make the promise, like,
you're not going to piss as many people off.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to piss people off because, like, yes, representation matters. And if it's a customizable game, that should be an option.
Here's the thing.
The fact that, you want to hear something freaky? The fact that fucking Cold War has the option to be non-binary And all the characters do call you they the entire game. And this massive, super customizable game doesn't really do that.
Well,
doesn't make sense to me.
As far as like the customizable stuff goes, like when you think about it, the customization that they promised in the game was like such a large endeavor anyway. And I could just see it being a thing where this was just, we added all of this, and yeah, we didn't add this. But me personally, I'm honestly sick of people taking it as a jab rather than just a, you know, yeah, we didn't add it.
The problem is they said they were.
Yeah, and then again, therein lies the your mouth wrote a check, your butt can't cash. So yeah, any additional scrutiny bring on from them is like, yeah, you need to tell your PR people to, you know, shut up. Number one, like, please don't make obscene, ridiculous promises that you apparently have no intention of keeping.
Well, the problem too is it's not really that obscene. It's just another dialogue option, essentially.
So,
just because, like,
really
all you really need to do is have three recorded scenes when they say he, she, they.
Right, but here's also the problem, though, is now you've got. Here's the thing: is it that big a deal to add if it's in its inception? No, it's absolutely not a big deal to add. You know, at that point, at the beginning of the creative process, it needs to be discussed that I'm going to do this. And if it's discussed that you're going to do it, then it's not that big a deal. But like, I'll be honest, like for me personally, and this is why you do this with teams, but I can also see teams being like, okay, we're just going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do that. We're going to basically stick to, like, because their last big RPG with choice, like, that was Witcher, right? Witcher 3?
Yeah.
So, you know, the sexual tracks were a little more defined, so to speak.
That's understandable, but that's why you could hire people to help work with that. Because, like, the big thing too is, like, this is a fucking futuristic society, right? Like, yeah, there's still bullshit in it, but it's the future. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a simple thing that it seems simple in the sense that, like, if you're gonna say that, you plan to record those lines, then you plan to have those options in there, you do it. Because the fact of the matter is, and it pains me saying this, but Call of Duty is more progressive than Cyberpunk. Fucking War Crimes, the video game.
Let's look at, though, like, the difference between the orgs putting out those games, though, in terms of, like, here's the
size.
Well, you got size, and also, I'll be honestly straight up about it. CD Projekt Red, though already under some scrutiny because of the whole crunch time thing, which we won't get into with this, but between the two orgs, like, Cyberpunk, like, CD Projekt Red, I think, can afford to be under some scrutiny versus, you know, these other guys are like, we really need to, like, go the extra mile here and say, hey, do that. So to me, honestly, as far as, like, while inclusive style stuff is also important, I just can't help but look at it as pandering.
The problem with that,
if I'm being honest about it,
can I point out why that maybe is for you, but I want you to look at it from someone else's perspective is the best way. Because
no, have it.
So look at it like this: like you play video games all. I'll actually share a story of someone else that I can't remember their name, but I read it on Twitter like a couple weeks back talking about Miles Morales. When Miles was introduced in the comics, he's like, "Oh no, this is just pandering. That's all it is." But when he had the opportunity to see Into the Spider-Verse in theaters, it suddenly clicked because he's of Puerto Rican descent. So there's not a lot of representation in media with that. And that first scene when Miles is singing Sunflower at his home, he's walking through the house, him and his mom just communicate real quick in Spanish together and all that, like that hit him. And he like suddenly understood why representation matters for him, because he is, you know, he looked at it from a different, like it clicked finally for him. He was like, oh shit, like this is me in some ways. So
I'll let you finish.
Like my big thing about like that is that like there are 1,000 fucking video games with a pro tag that looks like us. I could just point to my shelf and like just pick an area, and I'd probably nail a game that has someone who looks like in some capacity that I could cosplay as if I like do my hair right and get in shape a little bit. Not everyone else has that. So especially when a game promises something like that.
And again, like, so it, like on the basis of, again, yeah, the promise, like they earned any shit that rains on their heads because of the promise. And again, and I don't want to undermine the importance of people being included. That's really honestly not my point.
I know.
But you've got,
I think I remember a controversy similar to this a long time ago, but go ahead.
It mostly was just for me, like, I don't know, a good deed, regardless of how good, gets undermined by the perceived motivations of people behind it to me.
Oh, I get that.
And so I look at, again, that's why I look at the Cold War thing as pandering rather than
100% because it's Cold War,
rather than a genuine act of.
I agree with you there.
Let's include people, and then versus on Cyberpunk, it's like we can agree that, you know, if they just didn't say anything, they're like, we're gonna let you customize your character to an obscene degree, and like that's it, right? Like you just leave it at that. Like, because
but they went out of their way to say you could.
Yeah, they went out of their way to specify that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know,
and apparently there's some other stuff, like some of the scenes, like kind of, I don't want to, like, from like some of the things I heard about, like this could just be rumors or like leaks that maybe aren't leaks, but like they almost fetishize some of that side of like that community.
That's an early article. That's like,
is that an early article?
Release dates weren't even said yet. But I remember they were again, I don't know if it was ever proved or whatever, or like what the sources was, but we're
gonna find out soon. Essentially,
they were being called out. They were being called out for something,
which
like a little ways back. I feel like they were being called out for something.
Yeah, and again, that's also a problem because like my thing is more like, if you're gonna have a character like that, the experience matters, because I guess more what I was trying to get with the Miles thing is that like representation, when it's people who understand what it's like to be that kind of person,
right?
That's not pandering.
It represents them. Yeah, no, I agree, and it represents. And true representation is like, no, this is a normal human being that just happens to have this path in life, that this is their day to day.
Yes. Like,
there's nothing overly exaggerated. There's nothing horribly special about it. It's
not stereotyped into oblivion.
It's not stereotyped, right? This is their day to day, and that would be, to me, true representation. Versus, I'll admit, I have no idea how Cold War's story is laid out. I'm assuming it's first-person cutscenes, to where
first-person cutscenes, so you'll never see your character.
First-person cutscenes, you never see the character.
That just sounds like
and it's a
both Jay says pandering, but easy writing.
Oh
it's
yeah, no,
100% easy
100%.
writing.
But my point was more that is more progressive than what Cyberpunk did. In a set, in a perspective, that is the case.
So in a perspective,
from a certain point of view,
and from a certain point of view, for that set of circumstances, like for this subject,
yes, it's still pandering in my book because like it doesn't really like it. If all it changes is that like people say he, they, or she. Like, that's all the game does differently. You have Ronald Reagan say they once or something. Like, it doesn't really change anything, or, like, it doesn't change the character's experience, right? It just more just... I get in the sense that, like, it doesn't change the experience except for that, like, you're getting called by the pronouns that you more than likely go by in real life, which is good. It's kind of pandering because, I mean, that's all it is. But
yeah,
it's a step in the right direction, in my opinion, rather than saying shit, turning shit. If the article is correct and they were essentially fetishizing some of that, like, it just doesn't work that way. Like, that's not fair to the people who are like non-binary, who are trans, who are transitioning, stuff like that. Like, it just doesn't. That's not okay. Like, I don't know. It bothers me personally. It's one of the reasons why, like, it upon other things is why I'm waiting on buying Cyberpunk, essentially.
Oh, I'm just waiting for bugs to be resolved.
Oh, I know, but for me, it's that bugs, the fucking epilepsy thing, handful of other things. Like, it's just like,
yeah, epilepsy. Here's the thing: I will, out of principle, I would be more tempted to actually straight up avoid the game if the development process intentionally chose those patterns, knowing what
100%.
If it's somehow proven, because I'm like, that's a no. That's
not okay.
That's a big no. That's you can't easily come back from that. Like, not easy at all. And that is like and keep in mind, games have come back from real shitty states. Like, I could swear to the death of Battlefront 2, and then finally that game state changed to the point where I'm like, I have fun with Battlefront 2 now. I don't play it all the time anymore.
We occasionally boot it up.
Yeah, it's fun with friends, and you just jump in and you just go. Games can last anywhere.
Yelling, watch for those wrist rockets.
Yeah, you occasionally get that, or you occasionally get games that last anywhere from 2 hours to a half a day. You never really know.
Fucking that last time we played.
Like, let's go.
Oh my god.
Let's go for a different approach in the Battlefront 3, boys, because number one, I think that's actually very possible. I've heard nothing. I've seen nothing. I'm just like, in my heart, I'm like, you guys can do it. One more try. You guys can do it.
Like, Battlefront 2 isn't bad. It's just...
It's not bad. No, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a lot of fun. All the variations of the clone armor is everything I could ever want.
Oh my
honestly.
god, it's so great being able to be any of the clone. Like,
if anything,
there needs to be more customization for other character, other groups. Because
I agree, because like the Empire got freaking shafted. In
yeah,
there.
you get like
so
you get to be Sandra. The Rebels and Resistant are the worst because they're the same. Like,
yeah, they're almost the exact.
They
same.
are all the same fucking people.
I think they're heavy. I think one of their units is actually different.
One of them. Everything else is the same.
Yeah.
I'll allow you to win that one because I don't know 100%.
I could be dead wrong. I honestly could be dead wrong.
Also, First Order sucks because there's no customization with First Order. They fucking
zero customization.
They're just what they are.
So in the game, in the movie verse, right? Like, you don't really see much in the way of theirs. I don't think. Like, you've got the basic trooper.
You've got basic
Phasma,
flame. The flame. Phaz. Some of them have like that little shoulder thing.
Which were the heavies in the game.
And then you've got
the Sith troopers.
Sith Trooper. You've got the kind of like their snow outfit with like the 2 nozzle little visor.
I guess did they have snow outfits in Battlefront 2?
I think they're on. You can. No. I think you might be able to change a couple of classes to that.
I actually have a question for that because this is actually one of the things that really kind of bugs me that you can't set up. They need to do the formula that the old Battlefront 2 games had, to where you could actually pick your planet and set up your own private stuff instead of making it all multiplayer.
Oh my god, I'd like to just be able to play with friends and bots sometimes.
Dude, yeah, because it's super chill. It's honestly super chill, and satisfying for that matter. Just to be like,
hey, if you want to boot up the original Battlefront 2 at some point, just let me know. I have it on PC.
Oh, I have it. Yeah, I 100% have it.
I've debated booting up my PS2 for it because I have my fucking elite rifle for my for my regular class on there, like the assault class.
My PS2 fucking it died a long time ago.
You still have your memory card though?
No.
Oh.
I beat the campaign on computer though, so it's like I think I'm actually pretty close to getting the burst assault back.
Dude, that thing destroys.
Dude,
so
you could 1v80.
Oh yeah, dude, it's great. But they need like the thing with the multiplayer on the current Battlefront 2 is that like I think the problem is a lot of times it becomes very one-sided.
It does, especially when a lot of people leave because they're bad or
it just starts
losing.
To really freaking, or if the game just takes forever, like the one we had last time where we went. We
planet side.
It was Kashyyyk.
Planet side. Shit.
Planet side. It took forever for someone to get enough points.
So it was. Did we win or lose?
We won because they attacked our ship. We held them off. Went back. Yeah, then we won. Went on their ship.
We got fucking.
And that was the Yumi heavy with like one other person charged in on the last one and just unloaded.
It just didn't even look.
No,
like I think
our goal was.
I remember. I ended up dying in that last charge. I'm like, I don't even care. Like
it was like you, me, and like 2 other people who ran in there, and it was just this is it. Like, this is the charge. This is game.
I remember, and it's such an interesting thing, man. Like there had to be some levers after after their ship assault failed because we got rolled on ground war, and then they went to the ship. We held them off at the ship, and that's when the flow of battle changed drastically. And we also changed up our strategy because I said, nope, I'm going to go to the beach.
Also, it was me being Obi-Wan. It was when I turned to Obi-Wan, too. And I took the...
Oh, yeah, you got Obi-Wan.
We took the center base. I went back, came back in, took it again. And that was the last rally point we needed.
It was, God, like... Again, that would be so satisfying. So that would be way more satisfying if it was just really honestly, the troop count method is not a bad way to do it.
No.
It is honestly not a bad way to do it. And in fact, you can honestly do it. I can't remember if there was a game that did this. I feel like I think if I remember correctly, Battlefield 3 or 4 kind of did this to where if you were in the whatever the control point mode was, I've already forgot, but like if you had majority, the reinforcement counter of the enemy team depleted quicker, like had a steady depletion going on top of deaths taking away from it. And that simulated the flow of battle really well, and those battles were huge, could also take a while, but didn't honestly feel like it just, oh my god, this is never ending. Like, because, like, theoretically, like, I don't know if you were with me when I found a game. I was streaming it at the time, but it was, like, forever. It was on Fallujah.
It might have been with me.
Fallujah was the planet. But, like, I literally think it took almost an hour.
Sounds about right. Yeah. Like, there was like,
crazy.
We've had some games that have gone that long. Like, it's just... And it's
like,
not, like...
Game,
they're not...
A game.
It's not that they're necessarily
a round, a match. Not like we spent this long playing the game. It was one match.
And not to say that those aren't at least enjoyable on some level, but when you finish and you look over, it's like, how the fuck has that much time passed? It was a game. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a game. Or that's like, oh, dude. So they call it something different now, I think. Where'd it go? I had it installed for a minute, but I might have uninstalled it. Did you guys ever play Paragon before they renamed it?
Nope.
Fault. It's called Fault now, I think. No, that's different. Actually, I don't know. That might be it. I don't know. Either way, Paragon is one of these third-person over-the-shoulder MOBAs.
Oh, yes, Paragon.
Was one. And so then they got rid of all the assets, and then someone else picked up and basically re-released Paragon under a new name. I think it is called Fault now. You want to talk about games that would last a while? Even by MOBA standards. Like, I remember living alone in my old apartment, and I was playing with Trav and Chris and like all these guys, and like would lose a day. And I swear to you, we didn't go above, like, we didn't break 10 matches, and I lost a day playing this game.
I feel like Civilization
that is
lasts
absurd.
longer though for individual
Civ, oh
rounds.
my gosh, especially if Torn ever comes to you and says, "Hey guys, want to play Civ?" Be careful what your answer is and how much time do you have, because it's no longer yours if you say yes.
Oh God, Civ.
I love it though.
I haven't played Civilization in so goddamn long.
Which one do you have now? Do you have 6?
I think I got 6 for free. Wasn't it free on Epic?
It was free on Epic, but
Okay.
I have it on
And I
Steam.
have it.
You have it on Steam? I think that's where I have it, actually, now that I think about it. I do have it on Steam. It shouldn't matter, I hope. It probably does.
Depends on if they have an in-game way to add each other.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because, see, and that's, like, weird tangent. I do appreciate that, because now, like, so a couple of my friends have Red Dead on Steam. Red Dead Online. I have it. I bought it on, Rockstar launcher. But because you can add people inside the in-game.
Yeah, you can still play with people.
Yeah, I can still play with people. Which is nice, because I was worried I'd have to buy it for a fucking third time. I'm like, I don't want to buy that game fucking third time. But apparently on Steam, you could just buy the online, which is what I would buy if I was doing that.
Can we talk? I want your honest take on that, because I think out of the 3 of us, you are the one who plays Red Dead Online the most. I have played it.
Yes, because I played it from PS4 when it first showed up on there, through PC when it showed up first on here.
Good or bad idea that the online is going to stand alone?
I think it's a good idea in the sense that you're going to draw in it would have been how I would have purchased it on PC. If it was available that way originally, I would have bought online on PC. Because I already own it on PS4.
So yeah, so you wouldn't have wasted your time with the story on PC. You would have
No, because I've already played through it. Mind you, I mean, I wouldn't mind playing the story again, but I have it on PS4, which I will be able to play on the PS5 when I get that. Versus spending another $60 on it on here. Mind you, worth the $60 because I've had a fucking blast playing that with friends online.
Yeah.
On PC.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing because that's how, because Frankie had it on PS4 as well. He's the first one I played online with. He's bought in the online on PC, and that's how he's going to be able to play it on PC. I think it's a good idea, and I'm surprised they didn't do it with GTA 5 earlier. I expect it out of GTA 6 100%, and it's the perfect way for them to test doing that going forward. And I think it's a way for them for Rockstar to be like, okay, so because it's separate, we will keep working on it because there is going to be a constant influx of cash from the people who are just playing online. Because there are people who have bought in GTA on multiple things, myself included. Technically my brother bought it on PS. Did I buy mine on PS5? I did buy mine on PS4. I have it on PS4. I bought it for PS4. My brother bought it on PS3 back in the day, and then I bought it on PS4.
GTA 5 was one of the last games on my 360 that I bought.
But I have it on PC too.
I played so much of that game on 360, and have not touched it since.
That's fair. I played it on like occasionally I'll boot it up on the PS4 just to dick around. I don't really play online that much just because I don't have all the stuff on there. Which I do think Red Dead has a better online for that environment because there's less chaotic bullshit in Red Dead's online.
I would agree. I would definitely agree. Like between the two, like which if I'm gonna chill in an online lobby, it's gonna be Red Dead's. It's definitely not gonna be GTA.
Yeah.
Dude, also, man, dude, just straight up, all my experiences, like random chat experiences in a GTA lobby, just a bunch of punks.
Oh, yeah, 100%. They're a bunch of assholes.
Straight up. Just a bunch of punks. And I'm just like, this dude's like, I mean, you get, my favorite ones are the ones that, like, are straight up talking thug and, like, sound whiter than I do.
Dude, it's just, like, at that point, it's just like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
guys,
shut the fuck up, you idiots.
I just keep having interactions like that that validate my decision to basically mute all voice options every time I mute voice options video
in
game anymore.
Yeah. But like Red Dead's one of those ones that I will keep my voice on because there are people who, I can roleplay and people actually interact with me as though I'm a fucking goddamn like Devadiah Dorkadin.
Oh my god.
Listen, that name is great, and you guys know it.
No, it's not, Dev. Devadiah Dorkadin.
Huh? It's not as good as my...
what language is that? Like,
well, I made it off of...
It's not in the English language, I promise.
Oh, I know, 100%. Listen, I used my name, mixed it with some names, and there we go. But it's not as good as... Duncan Octavius Reginald Keaton York.
Otherwise known as Dorky.
What did you have him on?
76.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought it was that, but I wasn't sure.
Weird part of me has debated seeing how that game is now. Like, it's one of those games that I revisit, like, yearly.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's what I'll say about 76. Like, my honest opinion of it. From the stuff that I've seen, again, I'm not brave enough to buy it. I'm not. Yeah.
Don't buy it.
But I look at it now and I'm like, this, honest opinion of the stuff that I've seen, that this looks okay.
Do you want do you want personal experience talk from it?
No, I've seen a lot of your personal experience from it. Like I know good and well. And I'm talking about like the stuff that's recent, like the stuff that you haven't seen yet. Like I did kind of look into, and it looked, and that I think that's honestly that's the root of the problem for me is that it looks okay, which is why I don't commit. It needs to for me to look like yes, this looks good. I want to play this instead of this looks okay from the utter garbage heap that this game once was. This looks okay.
Well, the other thing, too, is I would never play that game on my own. Ever.
100% not.
I need at least Stevin, Frankie, Blue, and or Scar playing with me. Because that was our group.
Dude, you want to talk about a game that I really don't like playing alone, but have random urges to go back. And again, I think this game is fun. It's way more fun to play with friends. Arc.
Never got it. I tried Ark once.
I want to tame dinosaurs with friends again.
I tried Ark once. Not again.
No. What happened? I don't think I ever heard this story.
Oh, I just kept dying. I didn't enjoy myself. It was during the time I was playing Rust as well. Like, man.
Rust, dude.
And then wasn't shortly after that we started doing the forest together?
No, this was well before this. This was before I started streaming. I played Ark and Rust.
Dude, I'll never forget my first experience with Rust. We had just finished up basically our first initial big period of time in Ark. And Soy was all like, dude, I just found this a great game. I'm like, what is it? I said, it's Rust. I'm like, what the hell is Rust? Basically like, so you know how Ark and stuff to where it's like, you know, you build up stuff and blah. I'm like, yeah. Okay, so it's basically kind of like that. Only there's no dinosaurs. It's kind of like more modern day, so there's guns and stuff. And I'm like, all right. And you build up bases and you get loot, and I'm like, and that's like kind of it. It's kind of like this open world survival kind of thing. It's like, yeah. And there's like nothing else to really like do. Cause like, as useless as it seems, Rust has a PvE option.
Why would you ever play it?
Like, I feel like it does, because either that or we just picked super low populated servers. Because I never once engaged in PvP in that game. Like,
PvP is how we functioned.
Yeah, we griefed and got griefed in bases, but we never. It was just like, it's like, yeah, let's just build this base or whatever, and it just basically became like Minecraft with different graphics almost, in terms of like, yeah, let's just build the thing, and I'm like, fucking why? Like, at least in Ark, there was an element of danger. Hell, there's an element of danger even if you were in a PvE server.
There's an element of danger if you just play Minecraft.
That's true, yeah. And there I guess there kind of was in Rust. I don't like 100% remember, but it's just, that game just... The most enjoyment I've ever gotten out of Rust is I found some random YouTubers that were like really good at the game and could basically 1v clan people, and I'm just like, holy shit. I'm like, you are way more committed to this than I'd ever be.
No, me and Casey used to play together. We had this really big hexagon base, or honeycomb base, and like,
you were telling, yeah.
We just got robbed one night, and I was like, you know what? I'm good. They tried to go back and rebuild it. I'm like, no, it's fine.
Yeah, it's kind of what happened with our Ark base. Got just freaking rolled by some guy on a T-Rex at super high level.
Well, we got robbed in the middle of the night, is the problem.
Yeah, see, at least our guy like kind of did it to our faces while we were online, and obliterated our faces, I might add. But we were at least online when the calamity struck.
No one was in the base, so no one could shoot out like a text being like, "We're under attack! Wake up! Sound the alarms!" And yeah, we woke up to our house being locked.
You know, I don't think even if I was in a game where real time it was always there, and you guys messaged me, "Wake up! They're being attacked," I probably wouldn't wake up.
Yeah, I 100% would roll over and pretend I never saw the message.
Yeah.
Like, that goes for any game at any point. I don't care why. I don't care what it is. Like, the only thing that would get me to jolt up in the middle of the night for a video game is because I have some real money investment that's about to be lost in it. And at this point, why and how did I get to that point? Because what's that game, that spaceship game, Eve? Isn't that the one that you can like spend like actual real money, like,
yeah, the
egregious amounts of it, and like, and apparently you earn that said money too, like
not in real life, I don't think.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Sell accounts to each other.
Yeah, that was kind of, well, there's also this black market of, hey, I got this really awesome ship, I'll give it to you for like 100 grand or
that's how you do it.
And I'm like, people like actually buy that, to which if you are listening to this later and you do that, you ever think about doing that, get friends, get help, hell, go to the bar, I don't care, just don't do that. Don't take out a second mortgage on a video game. Don't do it.
Like Eve stories, I love listening to them. Like because it's such a huge, giant galaxy of a video game.
Yeah,
like,
they're great. But man, could you imagine committing to that? Like that's your game. That is your game for the rest of your life to get any kind of progress in it. I feel like.
Probably, yeah. Like, it sounds amazing and awful all at the same time.
Yeah. Like, I am not a one-game person.
I kind of am at this point.
I'm 100% a one-game person. You guys know it. 100%.
Yeah, all those horror games.
Only horror games.
All right, fuck both
Nothing else. Yeah, huh? Man. Boys, we've been live an hour. I need to know.
Jay's chomping at the bit.
I am.
About my week? Yeah, because I haven't talked about it yet. So my week...
Oh my god, you haven't! You actually haven't! No, we've been talking about so much crap for an hour! Dev,
you tangented
you today.
You tangented it, so I let it happen, which I set up for this moment, because you know what? It worked perfect. No, my week was kind of like, It's been work. Like, it's Q4. My back fucking hurts. I haven't had a day off since last Wednesday, so and I get a day off tomorrow. So that is why you see me with drink in hand today. I'm already one drink in, and this is the second drink.
What flavor is that Truly today? I'm just kidding.
I'm not drinking Truly's, fucker. I'm drinking a mango mule.
Ooh.
Because none of my seltzers were in the fridge, so, but these were, so drinking this shit, which is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Just having a cocktail in a can is never a bad thing, in my opinion. No, my week has been kind of just exhausting, is the best way to put it. We've had trucks be late. Like, out of the last 4 trucks, 3 were late. Stuff like that. It's just been tough to keep up with the workload because things aren't going the way it's supposed to go. So it's affecting the flow from how we're supposed to do stuff. So it's a little exhausting in that regard. So, that's just kind of how it is.
Yeah, I'm sorry that your day was rough today.
Yeah, no, I was fucking done with today. 100%. Like, that is an understatement for how my day was. I was like, I don't want to be at work anymore today. I'm just done.
I get that. I feel that in the depths of my soul.
It was just one of those days today. Like, I just didn't want to be there anymore after a certain point.
Dude. We had this, my team had like this, like a little motivational pep talk from my boss the other day. But essentially along the lines of, it's like, if you're feeling like you just like hate your job and you just hate anything to do with it, you just hate thinking about like, something is wrong. And it took everything in me not to unmute and go, well, now that you mention it.
I think it's you, boss.
But I didn't. Nah, he's actually not on my shit list lately. So,
you want to know the one thing that got me through today, though?
What is that?
Knowing the winner of today's challenge.
I honestly thought about playing my smart ass card and being like, knowing that you get to hang out with us tonight. But
so,
oh man, I feel like I'm losing points.
No. I have some referrals I need to bring up as well for this.
Oh yes, referrals.
So,
sorry, I'm tired.
Last week's challenge that I presented upon you was, I'm gonna wear this shit. You're making a Christmas card. Whoever else sends, you two have to send each other a picture. You use that, and Jim is sending a picture, and whoever else from HarHar can as well. Liz sent a picture as well.
Liz sent about a dozen.
Yes, yeah. But the best part of this is, can you imagine something out of the 12 photos? You both picked the same fucking one.
Yeah! Did you? Wow.
You want to know the one thing you guys didn't choose the same? Was Jim.
Oh, you chose his second photo?
It was easier.
I was like, well, okay, it probably could have been, but I was like, nope, I'm making the first one work. I don't care.
Well, I will say how Stevin does it makes sense.
Okay.
How Jay does the other one, 100% makes sense. You both do great with the Jim variation.
I'm excited.
So, make the HarHar Christmas card was the goal. Our options today.
I can't. It's not up yet.
I'm sitting here watching.
Oh, dude. Dude.
Both of these are absolutely fantastic.
So it's like an actual card. I'm over here. It's like, nope, I'm going to make fun of everything.
So, I did also ask Liz and Jim for which one they would pick. So,
oh, man.
I'll start with Liz.
The pressure is mounting.
I sent her Steven's first, then Jay's. Which of these would you pick as the winner? The first one, definitely. We look like we like each other in that one. Steven's is the first one on the screen. So that's the one she picked. She kept it simple. Jim, on the other hand, I love his. I sent him both. This was also when I asked if he was working tonight. He said, sadly, I'm not home tonight. Holy shit, both are really good. I like the first one, which I sent him in the same order, because it features all of us equally and actually looks like a nice holiday card from us. I like the second one because it's pretty comical. I'm going to assume the second picture is from Jay, because he had made use of my first shitty picture, and because he put me out in the snow outside. I have to pick that one. I'd pick the first one to actually send to our listeners, though.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I would agree with that.
So legitimately, they split.
There.
So if this was that you didn't need my vote, like, and it was
we
like,
would have had a draw.
You would have had a draw, and then I would have been the deciding vote. So no matter what, my vote's what counts here.
Well done, Stephen.
Yeah,
you both
really
did
like
fantastic. I fucking love it.
Well done.
I'm not gonna lie.
It so much.
Last night when I got both of these, I knew who the winner was pretty quick. For me personally, okay? I love both of them, though. You used Liz really well. It looks like the staircase in Stevens is, like, actually part of the picture. Like, it's in the background right there. Jay, putting her on the couch.
What wall did you use? Like, where did you find that? Like, was that just like a wall that you just Googled? Like the room?
Yeah, I just used Google, and then I changed the color to match her wall.
Yeah, well, you put me to match the fact that the head of the banister isn't there, and that's the whole reason I didn't keep her on the stairs and just opted for the couch.
Okay. I like how everyone's in Stevens, and it looks like Jay's taking the or like Jim's taking the photo.
Mm-hmm.
Jay's is fantastic really because Santa Steven is great.
That made me laugh a lot.
Elf Jay, fantastic. The use of Jim outside the window. And then my pasty knees are front and fucking center.
I offered to crop those. I
know,
offered to crop it.
But this is funnier because the photo I sent them, I half expected them to crop out like part of the shorts to not show that I was wearing shorts and make it more
Stephen
look like
corrected
sweatpants.
your posture, I just noticed.
I did, actually, yeah.
Stephen corrected his posture.
Fuck you, my posture's fine.
I also tried really hard to make it so, like, we looked like there was depth between all of us. And
dude, we dealt with so many, like, the other reason I did what I did was because of the such varying degrees of light. I would just like to apologize for mine in particular on yours.
It was fine.
I literally look like I'm glowing.
I want to say I like both of these a lot, but Jay's the winner for me.
Hey, where's the victory lap?
Oh man,
my reason being,
oh man,
is my fucking pasty knees up front. That is fucking funny.
Wow.
You still have your pasty knees in mine.
Yeah, but I'm behind Jay, and it hides a little bit better. But Jim outside the window, the use of the Merry Christmas in the HarHar font more, and in the HarHar colors, I like that a lot. And Liz on the couch looking at you two idiots is hilarious to me. It's fucking hilarious to me.
I have a confession to make about that, and I did kind of talk about it. I was literally like gonna like have her like be pointing fun at Jim, like it's the whole reason why like that whole shot's oriented. And then where I put me and Steven, I then realized later I was like, oh no, she's totally looking at us. None of us know Jim is there.
Oh yeah, no, none of you guys know Jim is there. It's fantastic. Steven, I do really like yours though because the perspective, the setting, it does really look like a Christmas card from us. But I've got to go with Jay's just for the comedic value. Like, it's just the tiny Jay is fucking hilarious to me. And the like not horribly, but like the obvious that like it would be Steven with the beard lower than his actual beard.
Okay, so
Santa suit?
that actually it was kind of one of these things. Like for that, I did want to color correct your beard, Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
I actually wanted to try to find just the Santa Claus outfit without the beard. Yeah, zoom in on me. That's great.
Little Jay.
But I did want to find it, and I actually had to remove the side hair from between your face and the hat, and then like all this other stuff. And so I'm just kind of like trying, because it was covering too much of you. And I'm like, people need to know this is Stephen. And so then I accidentally actually erased that much, and then that left me the result that is now there. And I'm like, Stephen is Budget Santa.
Yeah.
No, it's hilarious. And that's why I'm picking it. Like, this is Jay's wins purely off of comedic value, 100%.
Which is all I had. It's all I had going at that point, because I'm like, dude, so let's talk about mine a little bit, just so I can now just rip it apart now that it's been declared the winner. Okay, so let's talk about this room that looks like it was taken from the Jurassic
Tell
Park
me where you want me to zoom in first.
Like just the room in general just has this artificial like lab light to it. Like it was originally a vacant living room picture that I found. There's a set of stairs to there's a hallway behind the Christmas tree, which is why that's there. The random.
I think I could kind of see the little edge of it.
You can, yeah, no, 100%. The couch was just some random thing I found. Was originally gonna keep like, no, that's actually just a backdrop on the tree. Whoops, zoom that back out. The window was taken from a completely different room because I had to find, dude. I had to find a window that was open and that had a straight on shot.
That's really hard to do.
You wouldn't think so until you were looking for it.
Yeah, there are so many times when I try to find things like I could really just use like this car in a certain angle, and then you're sitting there for like 5 hours. Like, no.
And my whole other thing too was I originally was also Googling, well, Liz was already sitting on steps, but the steps look too different. Maybe I can find another set of steps so we can kind of incorporate that. And then that was just like, I looked at that for about 30 seconds and go, no, this is hopeless. What else?
Can I just point out, I appreciate Liz for also having a coffee cup.
And the bottle.
Because I sent her my photo and she's like, bet. So the fact she did that but went for the jack is hilarious.
I showed Star that my finished product, and that's one of the first things she pointed out. It's like, I love the fact she has a coffee cup along with Jack. I love it. So yeah. So there was that. Originally, I was going to have me and Dev standing front and center with the picture that I had sent. But two things prevented me from doing that. One, it occurred to me that there would be two normal people in this photo, and two, that my light was actually horrendous, which is why I just photoshopped myself down to my head and found another person wearing an elf outfit, which low-key looks like a Christmas gesture.
It genuinely looks like you wearing it.
And that's the whole reason it's there.
It's fucking perfect, because that is...
I say it.
That is your dimensions almost like... freakishly.
I say it in the photo. I say it in my footage. I'll say it again here, that I will never wear anything like this in real life, so you damn well know this is Photoshop.
Unfortunately for you, for the next charity event, since you missed the last one.
I technically missed the last two. I've missed every charity thing we've ever done.
Listen, you missed the last one for a good reason, okay?
I did miss the last one for a good reason, and though at least for the one before, though, I actively contributed, much to the chagrin of my now wife.
Also, I love the cartoon wreath.
Dude, once again, couldn't find a real one.
Well, the great thing is just like, if you're zoomed out, it's less noticeable. But when you stare...
Well, and so it's like, you know, the garland up at the top, that's also cartoony. The lights interweaving between Happy HarHar days is also cartoony.
Oh, Steven, I gotta ask you this. So me and Jay had this conversation last night. Which would you rather have? Happy HarHar days or Happy Horror days?
I feel like Happy Horror days would just be October.
Oh, okay, cool. Never mind. I was about to say, wait a minute.
Yeah. So I guess
what would it be? Harla days. Harla days. Happy Harla days.
Happy Harla days.
Harla days. No.
Honestly, sounds like some like
Harley Quinn holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
What it just needs to be is we need to be really fucking drunk like Liz is about to be and be like, happy holiday.
That's spot on. Also, Stevens, I love the gifts down there. That's a detail I appreciated. I like the background
That's the
decorations.
one thing after I told you that nope, I am submitted. I'm like, I should have put gifts under the tree.
And I appreciate you have garland on the walls and the stockings. Like, I really appreciate that. And I do love how Jim is the one taking the photo. Like,
that was clever.
That's good.
Well done. That was a very nice detail.
The thing that I actually really enjoy is I tried really shadows to everything, so every one of those shadows is added. Try to make it look like there's depth. So
I see the one over me that's supposed to be casting from Jim because the flash is on from the camera and it's supposed to look intense. Really, honestly, man, like technique wise, like you did really well. I can kind of see where some of your shadows are. The one thing I would have recommended you try to do to me, because again, I have a clash of cold and warm light on me. I
thought it was barely noticeable. I actually spent more time getting the green off of your edging from the green screen than anything else.
Yeah, dude. Man,
which I gotta say, I'm impressed with both of you guys, because is it harder? Oops, not what I wanted to do. Is it harder to do like me and Liz in these than it is you guys with the green screens?
No.
Yes.
Well, okay.
Depends on the day.
Okay. Well, let me rephrase that. It depends on what exactly we're grabbing. So, like, if you stand in front of like a plain wall or a wall that sharply contrasts what you're wearing and what your hair color is, then it's not so bad. But if stuff starts to blend, so like with the first challenge, that's why I had you redo your picture, because you had so much shadow. I couldn't, it wasn't gonna, number one, the selection process would have been harder. But number two, it was just, you couldn't see half your face. So green screens help, but also just a regular, just something that contrasts you, is a big help.
Fortunately, I don't have that much.
So no, I thought yours was okay because like I said, like Stevin freaking pen forms his stuff. I literally use quick select and then refine edge in the mask. Like, I compliment Stephen multiple times. How, he's patient enough to use this. I'm just lazy. We're just gonna quick select and I'm gonna refine edge, and it doesn't look horrible yet, so we're just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, anytime I try to do quick select, like with the magic wand tool or anything, it just doesn't work. It always bleeds over. Grab something else. I'm like, it's not worth it.
What you need to do is, for number one, magic wand, don't waste your time with it. Like literally, like quick select, like in the same tool grouping as magic wand. There's the brush with the selection circle around it. Use that. Because you have to be careful with it. You have to, like, be a little nitpicky with it sometimes. But that thing, like, has saved me like tons of time.
Okay.
It presents you with more opportunities to need to use refine edge with your if you're using a mask, because it will halo a lot of times. I actually talk about that in my footage this time, and I get rid of most of it. I get rid of enough to where I'm happy with it. So I had to use refine edge on one of your glass lenses because part of your background was still coming through it, and so I had to no one would ever notice with the way your head is, but like part of your lenses that would be transparent going through to see the back wall actually are. Like, I actually got rid of it. You wouldn't.
Yeah. You could see it on my camera. I didn't. Yeah, on my picture.
Yeah, you would see you would see that discolored little piece.
Yeah, zoom in on my glasses.
Well, it's tough to do because I guess this is another critique that I have of Steven's, but not of Jay's. It's easier to zoom in on Jay's.
My dimensions
are like way different. His dimensions actually were a card. I literally kept mine
used card dimensions.
I literally kept mine as like a Photoshop document.
Mine's formatted in a 5x7, which is the most popular.
Really, in hindsight, mine probably would have been easier had I actually went to card dimensions. That's the one thing I really didn't consider. I'm like, I have so much fucking space to fill up.
I love both of them a lot. You guys did great. Which brings me on to the idea for next week's challenge.
dude, to break the tie that we currently have.
So, keeping in the holiday theme.
Oh no.
Okay.
I want to be a nutcracker.
Dev,
You didn't pick that up. We didn't pick that up, Jay. What did you say?
Oh, I'm just so happy.
Uh-huh. Video audience gets to see that. So,
Nutcracker.
you get to choose the pose and all that. But yes, Nutcracker Dev.
Are you ready for nightmare fuel? Because I'm gonna give you nightmare fuel.
I'm about to say, like, that's literally only going one of two. It's literally gonna be nightmare fuel, or it's gonna be kind of like I can see this being cartoony, cutesy, or just nightmare fuel. There's really only two ways this can go. I feel like
100%.
Okay.
All right, yeah, I've got some ideas for that. I think for the photo, well, I don't know. Like, should we use a generic pose, like the same for both of us, or are we gonna pick? Or do you want to pick poses? Like, does pose rig really matter for your current idea, Steven?
I mean, if you guys want to keep doing like same photo as your choice.
Steven didn't even have an idea. For those of you who didn't just see his face just now, sorry.
Like, I have an idea, but I don't know which pose I'm gonna.
Okay, so never mind. We are gonna ask you for poses then.
Okay.
I mean, you could just send us a picture and we could deal with it.
I'd really rather not. I would like to go back to having some creative freedom in this challenge. The next one, you can make us deal with it. You know, like we kind of had to.
Jay, what if that's how you win though? Is just dealing with it?
Dealing with it. Here's the thing, man. If I have to dealing with it necessarily is not the problem. My biggest issue with this challenge is the fact that, you know, I got the flat fucking tire, and my time drastically shortened to get it done.
You didn't even need the time this time. You won. Next time, procrastinate even further, and you might actually have.
Dude, I have to edit stuff on a regular basis now for, you know, my wife. So it's like I can't do that.
Yeah, I have to come up with the schedule, so I stop procrastinating. It's bad.
Oh, Nutcracker Dev, huh?
Nutcracker Dev.
All right, I have some. Yeah, I got one. I'll admit, I got one real ambitious goal because, again, I'm obsessed with Photoshop these days. So I watch tutorials and videos and all this other stuff. And there's something that I seen kind of a little while back that I'm like, could I actually make this work? is the question. So yeah, to be decided, I suppose.
100%. I look forward to it. To next week's challenge. You guys can look forward to the video Friday from the Photoshop battle behind the scenes.
Yeah. Jay, record the outro and then send it to me in the Google Doc like last time.
Yeah, I gotcha. Literally, our one critique to each other was about the runtime. Just to give you guys a heads up, I don't see it being shorter.
I actually think it will, at least on my side.
Seriously? Oh, I'm so sorry then.
I took half the time this time around to make this picture. I literally, like, I threw it all together because I took as much transparent images as I could from Google. And I was like,
dude, I didn't freaking find any. Like, that garland. So the garland, the Christmas lights, and the wreath, they all say transparent images. Guess what? They all lied. They all lied. Ugh.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
The couch, not transparent. The window, definitely not transparent. The easiest part of the whole thing is I added a Blizzard background to Jim there, and it was literally the last thing I did. I don't even have footage of me doing it. So I'm like, oh, right, because I forgot. Because that little transparent square was basically there the entire time. He's just sitting in that square like there's nothingness. He's sitting in nothingness. I had to add the snow behind him.
Did you have any backup plans this time around? Or was it just this is for the holiday card?
Oh, so like the biggest plan that I had to change. So the two big plans I had to change was one, as I was going to go real ambitious with your Santa suit. And again, I was going to like take an existing one and warp it to you. but your arms were too tucked in with your thumbs up, so I couldn't get the bend and it look any way natural. So I had to scrap that idea and go for budget Santa. My second change of plans was what was why Liz ended up on the couch. I was going to keep the stairs. It was going to be basically where the tree was, and the tree was going to be somewhere else. But I didn't notice, and you see me notice, and I talk about it, like the railing, the head of the railing's not there. Fuck. Okay, guess she's going on something else then. And so I mashed her out and looked for the something else and found the couch.
For me, this time around, like pretty much as everything worked exactly how I wanted it to. I was like, I want this to go here. I want this to go here. If Jim didn't send me a different picture, I probably would have gone with my other idea, which was just cropping out all of our heads and putting them as ornaments on a Christmas tree.
Dude, okay, so
that would have been good too.
I had a similar idea, only we were gonna be a group of snowmen.
Oh.
And I was gonna texture mask everyone's skin to look like they were made of snow.
Nice.
Yep. But see, so the original idea for that was I was gonna use like everybody's like full body to like try to do it. So I was like really too ambitious with it. By the time it was like a philosophy change when I just photoshopped yours and mine's heads out and put them on the respective Santa and Elf. That I was just like, I even say this, I'm like, this might feel like cheating. This might be cheating. I don't care.
You do what you got to do, man.
Hey, I mean, it worked for the comedic value.
It's
100%. It's how you won. You doing what you did with you and Stevin, Liz on the couch looking at you two idiots, and then Jim in the window is like bar none the funniest shit to me.
It was a fun story to tell. Like,
it is. No, 100%. That is a story right there. The Stevens looks like what we would actually do if we took a Christmas card.
I was about to say, I took it too serious. I just need to be funny next time.
Well, no, and that's not a bad thing what you did. I feel like if Jay had done what he originally planned with me and him up front, me and Jay up front on there, I don't know if it would have won.
100%. I don't think it. If I had kept it and everything else was same, like even with Stephen with budget Santa and like all this other stuff and Jim in the window, I personally don't think that it should have won. Given again, and that's solely just based on the fact that it was, because again, you'll see it in the footage if you look at it, because I was like, I put myself up there with you, and on top of there's two normal people in this photo, this can't stand, but it was like my lighting was such a eyesore that like this, I have to do something else. Like, and then that's when I was just like, basically like I was like, I'm gonna be Santa's elf. Why the fuck not? Fun fact, the original elf outfit that I was going to pick was the Will Ferrell elf.
That would have been fun.
And I looked at it, and I initially was going to keep it at regular height, and then I shrunk myself down to regular elf size, and I'm like, I really hate how this looks. So different elf, and I found the other elf, which Star says was a jester, and I'm like, bullshit, it's got Christmas colors, so it's an elf.
It's an elf. Makes you look like an elf in the photo, so you're an elf. No, that's great. I look forward to it, seeing what we do next week. I look forward to sharing these on Instagram here this week. I look forward to putting the poll here shortly on Twitter. And, with that, I think we might just wrap up for the night. So it's not, unless anyone else had anything major they wanted to talk about. But
did I post a wacky story?
Not that I know of.
I mean, I posted something about monoliths and racists, as well as a baby embryo.
Avoid that.
I would rather not. Yeah, I read your article.
We've been lighthearted, and I hate fucking what those fuckers did with the monolith.
I agree.
Don't be racist.
I did read.
Stupid.
I did read your argument. Yeah, don't be a dick. That just goes into the general statement, I think.
Yeah. With that, thank you all for watching live on Twitch. Thank you all for listening. If you're listening to this on to wherever you listen to podcasts.
On VOD.
Or if you're watching this on YouTube. Thank you. We will see you guys next week for another episode of the HarHar Podcast. Good night.